Welcome to the Books and Martinis podcast.
I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy.
And this is your go-to book podcast,
where we lift, empower, and spotlight authors.
Grab your martini and follow along.
And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to our podcast. I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy. Welcome, everybody. And more than anything, cheers and welcome to Khaya.
Khaya, cheers.
She's having a legit drink in that little innocent glass, by the way.
Yes,
Tell us what you're
innocent.
drinking.
I'm drinking a white martini, so a sweet white vermouth with a squeeze of lemon and some vodka.
Ooh, I love
big,
that.
Big, massive ice cube.
Yes.
I love those. And your nails. Show me your nails. I just noticed how beautiful they were.
How
They're
cute are
press-ons.
those? What?
They're so cool.
I've been obsessed with press-ons lately because there's in the city, I'm sure you've probably seen some, Priya, but they sell them on the street. They sell them everywhere, these hand-painted press-on nails.
Yes, and they last?
Yes, there's this shop called Kitty Kiss by Union Square that like they paint nails there too, but they will put them on for you with like the gel glue. And this is going on week 3. So
wow.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Keep up with it. I'm in Tennessee. I'm gonna find nothing like that.
Well, I'm gonna be in
but that's super cool.
They have that book con thing coming up. You're not gonna be at that, are you?
Where?
The book con at Union Square, Barnes and Noble.
Oh, the book festival.
Are you?
No, I don't have a ticket, but
well, let's just kick this off because we're super excited because this is not our traditional podcast recording. Khaya is not an author. She is a voice actor. And she does audiobooks, she does film, she does so many different things. And I actually found her on TikTok and I was just like, what? Where's she been hiding? Like, she is so amazing. And you guys, wait till you hear what she's done.
Absolutely.
Wait till you hear what she's done.
Tell us, Priya. Tell us what she's done.
I'm not saying it yet. Let me read her bio.
Yeah.
So Khaya Fraites is a voice and film actor based in New York City. Khaya has narrated a number of titles for Penguin Random House, Recorded Books, and Macmillan Publishing. Her most notable work includes graphic audio's adaptation of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame as Violet effing Sorrengail. I was going to say the whole word. And I know it's said like that in the books too. There's some characters that say it. Khaya was recently featured on NBC's Today in the Bay and Empire Magazine for her voice work. You can find her on TikTok and Instagram at Khaya Fraites or check her out on her website at khayafraites.com. And we're so excited to have you, Khaya. Yay!
Thanks for having me.
So I have to say, like, obviously, Iron Flame and Fourth Wing and Onyx Storm are not the only books you've done. Khaya has done books like Crescent City, Zodiac Academy, Moon Called, and so many other audiobooks. And not to fan out too much, but I told my son that you also did voice work for a Pokemon character.
Yes, I did.
Yes. And he was just like, what? No, can I talk to her? It was Carmen in Paldean Winds, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Paldean Winds.
Yeah, he totally freaked out. My son's 17, so he's not a little kid. He's just like,
I freaked out too. I've been, I used to watch Pokemon when I was a kid. So when I got the audition for that, I was like, no way.
Right.
I was so excited.
Oh my God.
My one and only anime credit.
Well, you need to get more. You need to get more.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm sure the sky's the limit for you. Why don't you tell us something about yourself? Tell us more about yourself. You seem to have such a animated life. With so much going on.
So yeah, I'm a voice and film actor. I'm based in New York, but I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia. I went to theater school, and I graduated in 2019 and then moved to New York in January 2020 to pursue film and theater.
Goodness.
And then, COVID happened. But I'm honestly now really grateful for it because if it hadn't been for COVID, I wouldn't have found my way to voice acting. I started auditioning and submitting to projects during the pandemic. New York was completely shut down. So my dad in Virginia ran to a Best Buy to get me a microphone and shipped it to me so that I could try and do this job I've never done. Yeah, literally saved my life. Thanks, Dad. And so during COVID, I kind of started, well, I had done a couple of like radio play type podcasts,
Mhm.
fiction podcasts before the pandemic, like in the city, in studio. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can, transition this to home if I get a microphone. My dad sent me the microphone, and I started working with that same podcast again. It's called Meet Cute. They're fantastic. They do like little
Oh,
15-minute rom-coms.
oh, I
Um,
love that.
yeah, they're so great. I still work with them sometimes. But aside from that, I just during COVID was watching a lot of cartoons, anime, and started posting like impressions and like just funny videos on YouTube and stuff. And just also, again, just like building my reel and submitting to projects online. And then I signed into my agency in I think 2021, Atlas, and was doing just mostly commercials and then animation, video games. And then I found my way to narration about 2 years ago, even though I've always, always, always been a huge reader.
Mhm.
I was obsessed with all the Hunger Games books in high school,
Mm.
and I've just always loved reading and writing. And I kind of also found my way back to that during COVID, just getting back into reading for fun. And it was like, wait a minute, like I feel like I'm almost there. Like I do voice acting, I do reading on my own time. Like
Mhm.
how can I, connect the two? And so I kind of got into narration that way, and it's been a wild ride. It's been really fun. And then like I said, I also do film. I've produced and acted in a couple of short films, and done the festival circuits and things because film is my dream. But I love voice acting.
So what genre of books do you gravitate towards when you
Like
read?
for reading or for
Hmm.
narrating?
For reading.
Both.
For
Both.
reading,
Tell me
okay.
both.
Okay, both. I love literary fiction. The book that got me back into reading as an adult was YA fantasy called Legendborn by Tracy Deonn.
Oh, yes.
It's so good.
Yes, I've been
It's
seeing that all over
so
the place.
good.
I haven't read it yet
Yes,
though.
the third book just came out this week. I've been dying to read it. I just bought it yesterday, so I'm very excited to
Wait,
read
didn't
it.
she what she was talking at Barnes and Nobles in Union Square, wasn't
Yes,
she?
she was,
Oh,
and I
what
waited
happened?
a single day and I could not get a ticket. It was sold out so fast. I was so
Oh,
sad. But I went there 2 days later and I got a copy anyway because the Barnes& and Noble
nice.
was like
Was
the
it
special
signed?
edition.
Was it
It was not
signed?
signed. It was not
Oh,
signed. But they
bummer.
had
Oh.
they had some signed ones for like the first and second in the series, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I like met somebody else there who was like at the table, like ready to
Hmm.
grab their copy. Like, yes. And I was like, it's so good, right? She's like, it's so good.
Oh my God, now I have to get it.
It's so good. I love it so much. It's like King Arthur mythology, but it's also like
Hmm.
magical realism.
Ooh,
It's so I love it. It's fantastic. So that really got me back into reading.
yeah.
And I don't think that I'd read a ton of fantasy ever before I read that. But now I love fantasy. And I also still love literary fiction and I like memoir and stuff too, but fantasy
Ooh.
is the perfect escape.
Can I say like before we go on to the next question, when I saw your reel, we shared it on our platform. You did an accent for one of your books, and it was
Yes.
so good. Do you
Thank
usually do
you.
Caribbean, right?
accents? Yeah.
Yeah, so this is my first this book just came out. It's called A Girl Within a Girl Within a Girl by Nanda Reddy. And it is about a little girl who's brought to the US illegally from
Mm.
Guyana.
I'm from
And
Guyana.
no
Yeah.
way.
I live in
Did
Queens. I'm
it
from
sound
Guyana.
okay?
It's so automatic.
How's my accent?
No, it was good. It was good. I
Okay,
was
okay,
floored
okay,
by it.
good.
I was like, oh my
Thank you
God.
so much. Thank you. My family's from the Virgin Islands, so our accents are a little bit different.
Yeah, yeah.
But the author is Guyanese, and she sent me a bunch of voice notes of how she pronounces things. And I also watch a bunch of TikToks about like Guyanese slang and like things like that because
It's
I was
very
like,
sing-song, right? It's like a
yeah,
sing-song kind of
yeah.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Like I think the biggest difference I was like realizing between like my family's accent and the Guyanese accent was like how you pronounce the R's. Say like daughter.
Data. I
I
can't even
don't
say it.
know.
So
So
I
there.
get made fun of in my family because I came here when I was 3, and I my accent is so Americanized, like so New York, New York.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like if I try to
yeah.
say something, my aunties make fun of me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was interesting, but yeah, that book was definitely a challenge, but definitely like so, so, so cool that I got to do that. And I tried to do as much prep as I could, and the book is fantastic. Like
Wow.
probably one of the best books I've ever read, and
Oh,
I'm just like
wow.
so honored that I got to be able to help her bring the audiobook to life.
Oh, maybe we should have her on the podcast.
She's
That'd be
yeah,
amazing.
you should. She's amazing.
Okay, we'll talk
Oh,
afterwards.
okay. How long on an average does a book take you? Or how many hours of the day do you sit there to record? Would be a better question
Depend
because I'm sure it could
yeah.
take you forever.
Depends on who I'm recording with, I guess. Um for graphic audio, it's kind of on my own schedule, which is nice for the narration. For Penguin Random House or recorded books, I typically go into studio between like 4 and 6 hours per day. And however long the audiobook is, like the hours as it says, when you're looking at
Hmm.
it on Audible, it takes
Right?
double the time to record that.
Oh my
Really? So if it's
gosh.
11
Yeah.
hours of edited
Yeah.
audio,
It's gonna be about 22 hours of recording.
wow. So I see you're sitting in your booth right now because I've seen that
Yes, I
booth in
am.
your videos on social. So when do you get to go into a professional studio? Do you ever get to do that? Or everything's just happens at home?
Oh, I
Well,
definitely
no,
get to go. Yeah, I
yeah,
definitely
she
get to
just
go.
said she goes, right?
Oh,
Yeah, I do. I get to go in studio for recorded books. I just went in studio last week. They have offices in the city, and also a lot of the publishers are here. So Penguin Random House, Macmillan I've been to. But yeah.
Oh, exciting.
I like both. I like the convenience of having a booth at
Mm,
home, but
mhm.
I also sometimes forget to go outside. So
sure. I
it's
know that
nice to be
feeling all too well.
yeah, it's nice to be able to have a place to go.
Yeah, yeah. Especially the vibe rolled over from COVID and everything's just done at home.
Yeah.
And then you get too comfortable and you're like in sweats all day long and forget what other people look like out there.
Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
martinis. Okay,
Exactly.
so now out of all of the amazing books that you've voice acted for, who is your favorite character that you've voiced?
Favorite character.
Yeah, or characters, you
Um,
might have more than one.
yeah, I have so many. I feel like I've been so lucky. One that I think is like the coolest thing ever is that I got to be Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, in the new Batgirl
Ooh.
novel from DC by Jade Adia. And
Yes.
it's a YA. And Barbara Gordon is black and she has a kick-ass, can I curse on it? I don't
Yeah,
know.
Yes,
yeah.
you can.
Okay. She has a kick-ass red wig as part of her secret identity, and I just love it so much.
Aw.
So how do you get your gigs? How do authors choose you? Do you have to send out your audition tapes or do you have an agent that helps you to get your jobs?
So I do have an agent, but mostly for commercial and animation. So for audiobook stuff, um, most of the time, well, like Penguin Random House has like a whole casting website that they can reach out to you and ask to submit samples for whatever project they have auditioning. But some studios just have like a whole roster, like maybe like I did just a general audition and they just have like a roster of actors that they keep on file, and sometimes they just reach out and like, oh, we have an offer for you, which has been really cool.
That does sound really cool.
Yeah.
And in the world that you're wrapped in right now with the audiobooks, what advice would you give somebody that wants to get into that world?
Um, I would say check and see like what like seminars and Zoom events and things are being hosted by these publishers. The APA, the Audio Publishers Association often does like free events. Like I got to audition for Penguin Random House because the APA hosted a Zoom seminar where we got to prepare like an excerpt and read for a producer and receive feedback.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, yeah, and so because of that, I got to meet, a producer at Penguin Random House and then afterwards sent them my stuff. And then that's how I kind of got in to be able to audition for more projects with them. Macmillan also has like or Penguin also has a like mentorship program that you can apply to for new narrators. And then Macmillan did a similar thing too, where they were looking um, for new narrators, and they, you could apply online and do like they have a whole program where you are given material to prepare, and then you can go and read with them, and they'll give you notes, and then they'll help you record it. They'll help
Mhm.
you record everything. They'll even like help you set up like your recording platform on your computer and everything is
Wow.
so great. Yeah, and so that's kind of how I originally auditioned for Macmillan, and then they've sent me out on a couple of things, and I've gotten to work on a couple of books with them this year so far. So I think it's just like reaching out. Like I would say the first thing you need to do is take some acting classes if you haven't taken acting classes, because voice acting is acting. And I think that a lot of
Yes.
people don't realize like how much of that is true.
Especially for the
Um,
graphic audio that you do.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So take some acting classes, and then I would say get a reel together, just a couple of samples of maybe 2, 3 minute clips of you reading, in different genres, characters, or books you think would be good for you know, your vocal range. And then just start putting yourself out there.
Have
Is
you
there
sang in any of them?
Sorry,
I was just have you
Go ahead,
sang
go ahead.
have I sang in any
in
books?
any of them?
Um,
That was a
I think
random question out of
I
left
know. I
field.
was like, what?
I think maybe I have in one of the graphic audios or something as like background, but not really. Um, I always get intimidated by that, but
Really? I
yeah, I
kind
don't
of I
know.
kind of see you doing like a Disney
I would
Right?
love
Like a
Disney
that. I would love
princess.
character.
that.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
could
you
see
got that
that.
vibe. I could totally see you doing
That would be
that.
cool.
Now,
I used to do kids' birthday parties as Princess
oh,
Tiana.
Really?
oh, that's
Oh,
When I was in
cute.
amazing.
college. When I was in
Oh,
college.
That's
got not
so
the
cute.
hustle.
Yeah.
Love that. Do you have any advice for indie authors? So I know like indie authors have to do like all the things, right?
Mhm.
And usually with traditional publishers, you mentioned Penguin House, Macmillan, other publishers that are out here, they have a whole system. They have, producers, a whole team in the works to help authors get connected with voice actors for their books.
Mhm.
Do you have any insight or advice you would give like an indie author that wants to obtain like someone like yourself to do the audio for their books?
Um, you can reach out to me, I guess.
Okay.
I haven't done too many indie titles, but I mean I know there's tons of um small audiobook producers that produce audiobooks, and I mean if you want me on your book, you can reach out and connect
Aw,
me with whoever you wanna. I mean I'm down to work with anyone. Yeah.
I love that.
it's
I
too
love
cute.
that.
Yeah.
It's so cute. What is something about you people don't know that you want to share? Some people that are
Um,
listening to you today might know you, some don't know you. So, what do you want to share with the listeners?
okay, what am I gonna share? I, of course, love narrating and I love reading, but
What about your writing? You mentioned you were a
yeah,
writer.
that's what I was
What do
gonna
you
say.
write?
That's also a secret dream of mine, is to be a published author maybe one day. We'll see.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't know.
sure you can do
But
it.
but I do write a lot. I've written 3 short films. Like I said, I produced 3 short films. I wrote all three and acted in all three because I needed a reel. So I needed to make something. But I also have written 2 novels, one YA, one contemporary romance.
What?
And yeah,
Wow.
but I'm like
Wait,
querying, I'm trying to do the traditional publishing
okay.
route. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll consider self-publishing. But I would love to, yeah, I would love to
Well,
get a
you're
book out there.
definitely in that world among all
Yeah,
the writers, so that's
yeah,
fantastic.
that's true.
Oh,
Maybe
Absolutely.
one day.
Yes, let's put it out into the ethers. Let's manifest
Yes.
yes, I love that.
Kaya will have a published books very soon,
Yes,
and
yes,
she'll do the
Mhm.
audiobook for her
yes,
books.
yes.
Yes.
That's
She's
what I want.
a one girl package. Everything is
Yes.
there.
Do you have like a favorite voice actor you like working with? You get
Favorite
to
voice actor
connect
I like
with
working
other
with.
voice actors or
I honestly don't get to connect too often,
Oh,
because we all are remote.
yeah.
Gabriel Michael, who voices Zayden Ryerson in the Fourth Wing full cast with me for graphic audio, we do get to record a lot of our scenes together, and he's really great. He's really sweet. And he's so talented. He's got the best voice ever. I also got to work with Junior Nyong'o, who's a really fantastic narrator, and he's so kind and just like reached out to me immediately and was like, I'm so excited to be doing this book, and just like we were, he's sending me like little notes of like what he thought like this character would sound like or this character would sound like since the book was dual narrated, so we could like try and like match them up, and make it, feel like it's like real, as real as
Hmm.
possible for the people listening. But yeah, I mean, everyone that I have met, all of the narrators I have met have been just so kind and like a wealth of knowledge. Because, like I said, I've only been narrating for 2 years, even though I've been doing voice acting for 5 years now. And everyone's just been amazing.
I'll tell you one thing, it totally changes the game of books because to listen to a book, there's so many times that we'll listen to books that have weird names, or pronunciation or different worlds and different
Hmm.
characters and things that we would never know how to pronounce it. And when we have people like you that actually act it out for us so that we could go around whatever we're doing around the house, doing whatever, and we're listening to it, we're
Yeah.
like really living it and
Mm-hmm.
breathing everything that you're reading. And I feel it's so much more than just reading it, listening
Yeah.
to it just takes you to another level.
It's more
So what you
powerful.
do is
Hmm.
amazing.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you so much. I mean, I'm a
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of listening to audiobooks myself, and I definitely listen to my fair share cleaning the house and,
Right?
running errands and things. So it's really cool to hear that
It's
other
a
people
game
are listening to
changer.
me and feeling the same thing. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. And, you know, sometimes books like they're really good, but you might stop or pause trying to figure out, okay, what do I do next? Do I continue with this?
Hmm.
Let me pick up the audio version. And then the audio version just blows your mind. And you
Yeah.
definitely, you definitely finish it. Have you ever had like, okay,
Mhm.
so the books that you narrate, have you ever had a moment where you're just like, oh my God, that's what happens to the character? Like, like you're finding out as you go what happens to the characters. I'm not asking for spoilers at all. I'm not. Totally not.
No, no.
But like, have you ever had a moment where you're just like, oh no?
Not while I'm recording, because I read everything before I record.
Fire.
Okay.
Um, So
You
I
walk in
definitely have those
prepared.
moments like beforehand where I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, like how am I gonna do this? Like, trying to like figure
Dang,
out
they're
like
killing me.
yeah, like trying to figure out all the different like character voices and things like that and like how am I gonna play this? Da, da, da. So that's always exciting when I'm just like prepping, but I haven't
Mhm.
had that experience recording.
What about like if you read a book prior and then you're contacted, like it did, like it synced up somehow, and and then you're contacted to do the audio version. Like, do you find yourself like getting super excited? Like, how do you prep for something that you fanned over prior?
Um, I guess Fourth Wing is the closest to that. But I haven't actually had that experience of like having read it before. Because graphic audio is really the only company where like sometimes the books come out, the full cast books come out after the original book has already like after the book has already been released. And everything else is like it's not out yet. So I am just reading and prepping on like PDF files, you know? So I guess Fourth Wing was probably the biggest example of that, just because even though I hadn't read it beforehand, I am on TikTok, I am on Book Talk, and I'd seen it everywhere. So I knew a lot about, well, I didn't know a lot about it, but I knew about it and I like, was like, oh, okay, this looks cool. Like maybe I'll read this soon. And then when the audition came, I still didn't know because they didn't tell me explicitly what it was for. They were just like, we want you to audition for this fantasy novel. The character is kind of, like a Katniss Everdeen type. And I was like, cool, cool, cool. And then so when I found out after that I booked it and it was Fourth Wing, I was like, no way, that's huge. Like that's really
Like
crazy.
that is huge. Like
Yeah.
Violet, I'm gonna curse. Fucking Sorrengail. I said effing before,
How do
but
you how do you feel about being Violet?
I feel so lucky. Like, I love the book. I as soon as I booked it, I read the book immediately and I could not put it down. I think it's fantastic. I think Rebecca Yarros is so amazing and so funny. Oh my goodness, like all of her characters are so hilarious. Um, but I love it. I think like I really relate to Violet a lot. I think she's so strong
Mm.
and also complicated and interesting and she's, she's a reader at heart too. She's a scribe. So I think I relate to her a lot and she's one of the most fun characters to play for sure.
And it's pretty crazy to think that that character came about from somebody's mind and talent, but you
Hmm.
brought her to life. Like
Yes.
you gave her a voice and a
Thank you.
personality, and she is you now, and you are her,
Right?
Well,
right? Because
Like
thanks.
you
yeah,
can't undo
sure.
that. It's like watching a movie and then
Oh,
they
thanks.
recast the movie and you're just like, what?
Right,
You can't see
right.
anybody else in those roles.
Yeah,
It's like
she
Well,
like
Superman. Like, come
literally
on.
gave her voice.
well, Rebecca Yarros makes my job easy because she wrote an amazing character.
She
Right.
really did, really did. When you're recording, do you so are there so I know you don't interact directly with the other voice actors. I'm going to talk about spicy scenes now because I know there are a couple spicy scenes in some of these books, especially the Zodiac Academy. I know there's a lot of spice in there. I haven't read them yet,
Yeah.
but I've heard so much about the spice. Are there any situations you're in where you're just like, oh my God, like, how am I going to say this? How am I know you're an actor at heart, so you got you're professional, you have to be professional about it.
Yeah.
But are there's any time where you're just like you got to like still yourself before you go into a scene?
There's definitely some scenes that have me giggling. I think the Zodiac Academy ones are, some of them are just like so funny to me because they're like, I hate you. And then they're like taking their clothes off. But, I think that I definitely have some giggles sometimes, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad, I guess. It's not like I mean like it's not so cringe like it's not as cringe as you probably think it would be like
Hmm.
recording. It's just kind of like moans and then there's a
Wait, do you have to moan? Do you have to moan, or you say the word
line.
moans?
But yeah,
Okay.
it's interesting.
Okay.
Depends on the book. For the the full cast, it's a full audio experience. So
Hmm.
Yep.
Yes, yes, snaps for
whereas for a lot
that.
of the other romance novels, it's just like the narration. It's like, I guess typical.
Hmm.
Oh
Love
my
it.
goodness, this is so interesting. I'll tell you that I'm not into fantasy. Priya and I are like the best couple. We complement each other because we're day and night. And so anything that she loves, which is everything that's fantasy, that's
Science fiction.
sci-fi,
Yeah.
science, all of that is like my opposite. I like psychological thrillers and who's done it
Mm.
and real life or romance or stuff like that. But the minute that you bring in a character that's not human or has funny ears or whatever, I'm like out.
Yeah,
I don't usually follow
that's
any of
fair.
it, but I love her enthusiasm with it. But when we listen to you, I actually downloaded on my phone the book. Which one was it? I'll tell you right now. I downloaded the book and I'm like, okay, just to hear her, I have to listen to the book and then I'll know what it's all about.
And
But
mind you,
even,
we have a book club. So we have our traditional books, and our book club is very like thriller oriented, suspense, and a lot
Mm.
of some of the girls are on my page. They like the fantasy, they like the spicy stuff. So we have our sidebar,
here you go. Wait,
but
can
we
you
can't
see
see
it?
it.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
there we
yeah,
go. Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of.
Fourth wing. Yeah, so that's
So
the
I
Yay!
did
first
that
one.
one just for you. So I'm
Yeah.
going to
Yay!
listen to it just so I can hear you.
Okay.
So we have our sidebars with the fantasy books and stuff we're always talking about. So Mercy's heard of these books, and
All of them, yeah.
some of them
And I
she's
read
read.
Akatar, right?
Akatar, yes, SJM,
Yes.
which Kaya also did Crescent City by SJM. Can you
Yes,
tell us more
I
about that?
yeah, so I work on that one also in the full cast production with graphic audio for Crescent City, and my character is Hypaxia Enidor. She's a queen, the
What a
queen of the
name.
Valboran witches, and she's
Ooh,
very posh and British. And
ooh,
she's a necromancer. She's got a lot of powers. She speaks to the dead.
ooh.
Um, she's trained by these ghosts, these like really scholarly ghosts. So she's very, very smart, and she's also a medic. Like she's such a fascinating
She's a
character.
medic? That's
Yeah,
so
she's a
weird.
medic. Yeah, she's like a magic medic. I don't know. She's
Oh,
amazing.
wow. See, I'd
Yeah.
listen to that.
So now that I mean we've asked you so many questions. There's so much more. But what's next for you? Like what are you doing next?
What am I doing next?
Hmm.
Um, Good
Can you
question.
share? Can you say, oh, it's a big
Yes.
project, but I can't tell you about it?
What am I doing? Well, I recorded a couple other fantasy books.
Hmm.
One is more horror,
Oh,
um, and it's called The Summer I Ate the Rich. Um,
okay.
yeah, and it's like about like Haitian zombies, I think.
What?
Oh my God.
It's also got like a full cast, so I just play a small part in that one, but that one's
Mhm.
coming out in April 22nd from Macmillan. And then I also have another one that's about vampires called Where Shadows Meet. That's coming out April 1st, also from Macmillan. And then I did just record my first thriller. So
Tell me
maybe
Okay.
you
more.
can check
Tell
that one
me
out,
more.
Missy. It's called Necessary Evil,
Mm.
and by
The
Stephanie
book is
M.
out already?
Freeman.
The book,
The book is out, but the audiobook comes out in April, I think, also.
oh, so you got a
So
busy April coming up.
yeah, well, it's nice at least like it's been spaced out. Like I recorded two of those in January, I recorded one this month. So yeah, and then I've just been what else am I working on? Yeah, I'm working on a video game, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say because we're technically on we're on SAG-AFTRA is on a video game strike still.
Oh,
So I don't know
mm.
if I can say it. I haven't been able to post about it, but I'll
Okay,
tell
you
you
don't have to say
anyway.
it. Oh,
So
wow.
to all the listeners out there, how can they get in touch with you? How can they
Um,
find you and where can they listen to your beautiful voice?
yes, you can listen to all of the audiobooks I mentioned on anywhere you get your audiobooks on Audible, Spotify, Libby, Everend, Libro FM, all of those things. And you can find me at Khaya Fraites on TikTok and Instagram or at kayafraites.com.
Love
Beautiful. And
it.
we're
Well,
we're
thank
also
you
going to
so
add
much.
that so that people can see it and
Yes.
automatically link to your page.
Yes, yes.
We would love to have you back in the near future.
Yes,
Hmm.
So do keep us posted with all of your fun things
Yeah.
and if there's
definitely.
something that you record out there that we have to listen to, please let us know because we
Tag us.
will, yes, we will
Oh,
listen to you, promise.
I did
Go ahead.
forget to
Tell us.
mention that the last short film that I made is actually a comedy about narrators.
What?
No kidding.
Yes, and
Can you
it's
talk about
called
it? Can you talk about it?
yeah. We're currently submitting to festivals right now, but it's called Narrated by, and the trailer is on my Instagram page, pinned on my like reels and also on my
Okay.
TikTok. But it's a comedy about audio, romance novel narrators who are
That's
narrating a
so
book
funny. And I
together.
asked you that question, like, how do you get through those
Yeah.
scenes?
Yeah, so if you want a more comedic answer, it's like about like what the reader imagines the characters to look like, but then
Uh-huh.
also like who the narrators
Versus,
actually are, and
right,
those narrators may or may not be exes. I don't
Okay.
right.
know.
Okay. Okay. So it's funny. I know I'm going off tangent here, but have you listened to Quicksilver yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
All right. Yes. So his voice, the main character, Kingfisher,
Hmm.
the audio actor does
Anthony
not look
Palmini.
like the voice in the book. No shade on
Yeah.
him. That is amazing that he got that role because his voice is hot. But
Yeah.
the minute I saw him, I was just like, what?
Yeah,
So no,
I think like
yeah.
everyone has these kind of ideas in their head of what they think that we look like. Um like definitely don't look like most of the characters I narrate, but
Mhm.
it's definitely an interesting thing to explore.
Have you ever had somebody come up to you, like a fan at one of the fantasy events, and be like, "Oh my God, you're Violet," or "You're this character from this book," and I didn't expect you to look like that. Has anybody ever been that blunt to say something like that to you?
Definitely, people on TikTok have like commented and been like, "Oh my God, Violet's black!" And I'm
Oh
like,
God.
"Hey, girl!" And it
You're
honestly makes me
welcome.
really happy.
Yep. You're like, you're welcome.
Yes, I am. Oh, but what an amazing shock, right? Like, I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a little part of you that's like,
That's right.
uh-huh.
You loved her, you loved me, so there you go.
Exactly, exactly. And the same thing with the Kingfisher guy. Like, no shade on him. I love
No,
him.
you
That
loved
voice.
him, you love him. That's
He's
it.
amazing.
We
Amazing,
made it
amazing.
happen.
Exactly.
Aw.
Well, we want to thank you so much for being our guest today and
Yes,
being
yes,
part
yes.
of the Books and Martinis podcast. Let's get a little cheers again. Did you finish your drink? Did you finish it?
How's your drink going?
I still have half.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I'm down. I finished mine. I have my fruit left.
Oh, I need a refill.
So
So
cheers to
cheers.
you.
Many
Much
great
success.
things.
Yes.
And may we hear about your upcoming book in the near future.
Yes,
I
one
can't
day.
wait.
And you
Wait.
add us to your list of interviews when your book comes out,
Yes.
so we can talk about it and read
Definitely.
it. And it's been a
Absolutely.
pleasure, Khaya Fraites. Thank you so much. You guys, make sure you check her out online. Follow her on Instagram and TikTok. Check out her website. Listen to her books, all the books that she's narrated. Watch her in films. Her whole resume and breakdowns on her website. You can definitely find her. Find her in Pokemon. And like, share, follow, subscribe, guys. Thanks for listening and
Absolutely.
watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.